Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Talkin'Smack Sports Podcast. It's your normal host, Tommy, here. Today, Jake's out on business in LA, so we got our new host, Henry, here. Hello, Henry.
What's going on, guys?
He is almost as smart as us, so we shouldn't have a problem. It should be a seamless switch. Jake will be back.
Easy transition, yep.
Jake will be back in a few episodes. Who knows? Colin Cowherd's kind of crazy, so we'll see how long he keeps him. Anyway, we're just going to get right into the action. So, right off from where we left off, there's really only been one big move, or not even move, re-signing of Clint Cappella. 5 years, $90 million with the Rockets. How are you feeling about that, Henry?
Well, I think it was a no-brainer. I know we were talking to Jake about it, and a lot of people thought Cappella was going to be moved because he was asking for more than the Rockets wanted to offer him.
He wanted 4 for $100 originally.
Yeah. He's not one-dimensional, but he's kind of just a defensive lob-catching center. But for the Rockets, after losing Luke Mbamute and Ariza, they couldn't afford to lose the rest of their core with Cappella.
Yeah.
And I think after signing Chris Paul to the contract that they did, kind of committing to a win now, they kind of had to make this move and compete again this year, especially after being one game off last season.
And does 5 years bother you? Because obviously he's still going to be a good player in 5 years, right? He's young, but this team isn't going to be a competitor in 5 years, so are they going to want to be in rebuild mode? Is that contract going to, maybe be a haunter of them? It's only $18 million a year, but still.
Yeah, because it's cheap enough, I think they'll, in 3 or 4 years, once Chris Paul's contract's up, he's going to be about 37. So I think it'll be an easier contract to move if they decide to do so. But James Harden's still signed long-term. They'll keep bringing pieces in later. So I actually think this contract was not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, for sure. And Cappella, he could have waited to hit the market next year, but I think he just wanted his bag now. There's going to be more money and more need for centers. I could see him in... I'm surprised LA didn't throw an offer sheet out there for him personally. Maybe they just wanted to wait, but he could have had more money next year possibly, but he just wanted to take his money. He probably likes the winning environment in Houston, and you can't blame him for that. For now.
Yeah, he fits with that team. Losing two really good defenders. They needed him to anchor it. Having Paul throw him lobs, it's a good situation for him. Yeah. And the problem with LA is LA kind of got settled down with a bunch of 1-2-year contracts this offseason, and I don't think they were planning on signing someone like Cappella.
Yeah, well, they don't have money anymore anyway. Well, even if they just threw out an offer sheet, a ton of money for 2 years or 1 year, it'd be hard for the Rockets to... Because the Rockets paid some people some money, if you didn't know. Yeah. The Rockets aren't in horrible shape, though, cap space-wise.
No, and with Carmelo being bought out today for $21 million to the Hawks, meaning that he's only losing about $2 million, he's going to likely sign a smaller offer sheet with the Rockets.
Yeah.
So they're not going to have as much money.
I think he's taking exactly $2 million less, and he's making 2.4 with the Rockets, so I think he's not... Yeah. Nothing's changing. Good for that guy, man, getting all that money still. As long as he clears waivers, of course. We still got to say that because his team can still technically pay him his full price for the next 48 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Which it's not going to happen, absolutely not. Anyway, any more signings you want to talk about, Henry, or is that... I know some littler deals happened.
I did want to bring up the young buck, Patrick McCaw, re-signed his qualifying offer with the Warriors. He signed a 1 year, $1.74 million. Averaged about 4 games last year, shot 41% from the field. He's a good young piece.
He was hurt a lot. He was better his rookie year.
Back injury mid-season, but
he's more of a defensive guy too.
Yeah, I think the Warriors were just trying to keep him around, try to fill their roster spot.
Well, yeah, you're not going to not offer him a qualifying offer for $1.74 million,
Yeah, especially this late in restricted.
That's actually a Warrior I like too. That's fine. I can root for him. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one else threw an offer sheet though, just to screw with the Warriors.
Yeah, I guess the injury scares a lot of people, but watching him play, he can shoot the ball. Shot only 24% for 3, but he's got a good mid.
The Kings like to screw with players that have been injured. Maybe.
There was some restricted free agents, yeah.
That's about it for that. Unless you want to talk about that other guy.
Yeah, it's been a quiet few days for free agents.
Well, yeah, it's over.
The restricted's starting to slow down.
Pretty much the only guys left are Dwayne Wade. Rodney Hood's still restricted, but he's probably going to stay in Cleveland. That's about all I can think of right now. Oh, Jamal Crawford's still a free agent. No one big, though. Dwayne Wade, we don't really know what's going to happen with him. We talked about this a little bit last episode, but he could go to China if he wanted to, but I don't see that happening. I think it's more likely he retires.
Heading back to China, yeah. Or
heading back.
With the Heat to stay back.
Yeah, I think he should just retire personally. He's old and he sucks. He was good in the playoffs. He could just, wait until the playoffs. That could be a good move. He could wait until, the playoffs and sign with a contender. But does he really want to go ring chasing like that?
I don't think
Probably
so.
not.
I think there's a better chance he heads back to Miami.
Yeah.
Mentor some of the younger guys. They've got a lot of wings over there that could use that.
Yep. Like Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
Okay, next on our list we got, we've heard some rumors, I saw a Bleach Report thing, seen some things on Twitter, that KD is seriously considering, at the end of this year, because he's signing these one-year things, he's seriously considering going back to OKC, which, wow, I mean, I don't even know how to react to that. I would love to see what happened if that happened. It would probably be, you brought this up to me, through a sign and trade, makes the most sense, with Paul George, because they don't have any cash. They don't have anything. And they don't have anyone expiring. They need to keep Steve Adams. They need to keep Russell Westbrook.
He'd be the only move.
Yeah.
The thing for Durant is, I think he knows this personally as well, is he wouldn't have that same warm welcome that LeBron had coming back to Cleveland. Just the way that he left. And the way that he's continued his career joining the Warriors. You know, he doesn't have a whole lot of pals in OKC.
Yeah, I think he'd be better suited going to Washington for his
hometown. Yeah.
For his public perception. I could root for him in Washington.
If I had to put money on it, I assume he probably stays with the Warriors.
Me too. For at least 2 more years after this one.
But if he's going to keep taking less money in Golden State, there is a chance he takes less money and tries to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be one of the few warmer welcomes for Durant is if he decided to take a pay cut and try to help Russ win a ring.
Well, because if they can somehow keep that big four of Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Kevin Durant, and Steven Adams, they're favored over the Warriors as far as I'm concerned.
They would be nasty, no doubt. Just getting Durant away from the Warriors, I think they would be favored, yeah.
Plus the prospect of Clay possibly moving on. I don't see it happening, but, I mean, there's a lot of strong signs pointing to him going to L.A. He can get more money there. His dad played there. Him and LeBron's, probably my dream duo right now if I could pick 2 players to pair up in the NBA.
They would be nasty.
LeBron and Clay can win a championship alone, just with the kick-out ability of LeBron and the pure shooting of Clay. I'd love that, those two. So, we'll just see. I mean, we're saying all this stuff about the Warriors, but I'm still betting that they're all going to be there for the next, at least 2 more years, including this one.
Assumption as well.
We'll see if DeMarcus Cousins, too, though, because we'll see if they all continue to take pay cuts, because they can only really have 2 of them need to take pay cuts at least, right? Or 3.
Yeah, I think Cousins probably plays this year out and sees what he's really worth on the open market outside of Golden State.
Because next year's a bigger market for big men. This year was not really. Only Dallas.
Especially coming off an Achilles injury. I know a lot of teams are scared of
big guys and
Cousins.
Achilles injuries are not good.
He knows he'll have that extra time in the playoffs, too, coming back instead of just having 20 to 30 games after the All-Star break.
Even though his other team was the Celtics. It was that or the Celtics. I just wish he'd gone to the Celtics.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty much identical situations. I guess the Celtics aren't as big of a lock in the West as the Warriors are, but we'll see. So that is enough of that topic. Next, we just want to keep. I want to keep talking about Kawhi. I don't know about you. I'm just fascinated by this whole situation. Lots of stuff been coming out.
Everything Kawhi Leonard's fascinating.
Just the guy, I don't know. He does know how to make people interested in him. Obviously, Team USA camp's going on right now. He's not there because Pop's the coach. He couldn't go pretty much. He couldn't go. Anyway, I am 100%, not 100%, but I've been thinking about his options this summer or next summer. I think there's a great chance he stays in Toronto. I've been thinking about it a lot. I just have. Because he kind of made it clear he doesn't want to go to the Lakers, right? He wants to be the alpha dog.
Yes.
And then he doesn't want to go to the Clippers because, he would kind of not even be the alpha dog still because, the Clippers and the Lakers are kind of bunched together in a way. Where LeBron would still be the alpha dog of the whole LA. I don't think he wants to go to the Clippers. And where else is he going to go if it's not LA? If he has a good year at Toronto, if they make if they make at least the Eastern Conference Finals and even maybe the Finals, I think there's a good shot he stays. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the big thing with Kawhi this year is going to be, playing his entire young career so far in San Antonio, which is a smaller market. I think he's going to be overwhelmed with the support he gets in Toronto. Toronto being a huge basketball city. I know they're excited to, as sad as Toronto is to lose DeMar, I hear a lot of rumblings that they're excited to try to make that final push and actually have a chance to compete for that Eastern Conference title.
Absolutely.
And I just think playing up in Toronto, I think he's going to have a ton of support. I think they're going to have a great year. And although I do hear rumblings of Kyle Lowry wanting out, I think he's going to take over that city, take over that team, and I think they're going to have a good chance to lead the East, that him in Boston, for a long time. So I agree with you. I think there's a good chance he stays.
Well, not a long time. They probably got 2 years of this. Because Kyle Lowry's got 2 more years on his contract. They have the bench. They have the best bench in the East, maybe the league. We have to remember that too.
And if you look at that, their whole bench is young. Pascal Siakam is a very raw talent.
I want to see Fred VanVleet run the 1 this year, and Kyle Lowry maybe run the 2.
Was awesome last year. Very smart player. He's going to be able to hand the ball off to Kawhi and spot up. I think OG Anunoby has a great chance to break out one of these years.
Especially, I love that's one thing I love with Kawhi being maybe a mentor. I know Kawhi's not really that kind of guy. But just being able to watch him in practice, I feel like OG's kind of built from the same mold. That's what I was thinking about that.
Yeah, they're very similar players, and then you add in a guy like Danny Green, who I thought was a steal.
Yeah, that was kind of understated.
In Danny Green,
he's a great defender too.
One of the top spot-up shooters and a great defender. I think they're going to be a really versatile team that can shoot the three. They're going to get out and run.
Yeah,
I think Nick Nurse has a really good squad this year.
And the whole Kawhi, oh, he hits the cold weather thing. Who cares? Just don't go outside, whatever. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's just trying to create noise. And also, as you said, the support, he's got the whole country. They only got one team. He's got the whole country.
Yeah.
And you said he doesn't even like the press. He's got to think about it. Does he even really want to go to LA, being hoarded by the cameras nonstop? I feel like, what would his other options be in summer of 2019? New York? The Knicks?
Brooklyn?
I mean, yeah, maybe Brooklyn, but that's just, I wouldn't even call Brooklyn a big market, really. It's it's still in New York, but it's like Brooklyn. I just don't.
Yeah, Brooklyn's had a tough couple years.
I mean, the whole entire time they've been the Nets.
The Joe Johnson
or the
and
Brooklyn
Kevin Garnett trades and all that stuff.
But when they become Brooklyn?
They've been rebuilding. They became Brooklyn in, I want to say around 2011.
Okay, so they had 2 good years of being Brooklyn. And then it's just been downhill after that. Really downhill. Are you looking it up?
Yes, it was 2012. They officially moved.
So they
from New Jersey to Brooklyn.
So they had 2, 3 good seasons.
Runs, but nothing past the second round.
They lost to the Heat a few times, I think.
Obviously lost a lot of draft picks. I like some of the young talent on that team, but it's going to take a few years to keep developing it.
Yeah.
Develop a culture there.
Yeah, I like how they do in free agency every year because they've been trying to build their free agency. I love the trade they made last year with D'Angelo Russell. Mm-hmm. But I don't think they're landing Kawhi.
No, me neither. I think Kawhi.
And it won't be Boston.
Kawhi's going to have a very warm welcome, and I like his chances to stay.
Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, and that's huge for Toronto. They can keep him.
Yes, it would be huge.
Because, like, even in the OKC situation, they still gave up what ended up being an all-star in Victor Oladipo. So even though they kept an all-star, they gave up an all-star. So in the end, that was almost like a neutral trade. Even though Paul George is better for that team, better fit for that team, obviously. But in this situation, you're just like pretty much making an upgrade. You're a straight up upgrade.
Yeah.
Because Kawhi's better at every facet of the game over DeMar. And yes, Kyle's mad, but I bet you by November, Kyle's going to be pretty okay with his situation. Right?
Yeah, I would agree.
He needs to get over it. This is a business. Okay, now we're going to move on. We've compiled a pretty solid list of, like, what's the word you used? Players that can... Yeah, you say it.
Some of the younger guys on our lists here are potential breakouts this season. A lot of them had a tough rookie season, and we're expecting them to bounce back in their sophomore years. And then we've got a handful of veterans in the league who've been around a lot, who we just think are going to overperform their projections this year. So, Tommy, let's start with some of the veterans who we think are going to overperform. I'm going to start off, and I'm going to go with Carmelo.
How old's veteran? Just a question, because I don't really have any veterans. Are we talking like third year? Even later,
yeah.
I don't know.
Most of mine are in their 4th, 5th season, even later. Carmelo Anthony clearly has played. This is going on his 17th season. And
God damn it, no he's not.
Yes, he is.
16th.
Played 8 years. 8 years in Denver.
Nah, but he's the same age as LeBron. He's the same draft as LeBron. 03.
He had 8 Denver seasons, 7 in New York, and then 1 in OKC.
What?
This is his 17th season. I know.
What?
Okay. So, my case for Carmelo Anthony having a bounce back year, let's say, is that obviously a lot of people like to place last year's blame on Russell Westbrook. I, for one, don't think Westbrook's actually a bad teammate. In turn, I think it's the OKC's isolation system, and I am not actually sure Billy Donovan has much of an offensive scheme. If you look at Carmelo's numbers last year, he attempted and made the most three-pointers he has. His percentage was lower, but right around his average for his career. But the problem was he attempted 5.5 less 2-point shots than he had in the previous season, and 8 less than he has on his career average. Carmelo was a spot-up shooter, but didn't have the ball in his hands whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree with you with
this year.
Yeah, I agree with you with everything you said on Melo. So I'm just gonna cut you off. But I do think Russell Westbrook's really hard to play with. I wouldn't call him a bad teammate, but I think he's hard to play with. Because the problem is, Melo goes from, I was talking about this with Jake a few episodes ago. I saw this somewhere, I don't know where. Melo goes from having the ball every single possession to Russell holding it off for 20 seconds of the shot clock, 6 possessions in a row, and then saying, "Oh, Melo, you can have a possession now." Same deal with Victor Oladipo happened. Every 6 possessions to touch the ball, you can never get in a rhythm.
For sure, and I also think when you're looking at the numbers, the Thunder attempted 15.5 less shots than the Rockets did last season.
Yeah.
The Rockets obviously like to push the pace. Melo's going to be able to get out in transition, get his pull-up going a little more. I think losing Ariza and Luke Mbamute is opening up a lot of shots that I don't actually think are going to go to James Harden and Chris Paul. I think they both had a lot of touches last year, and I think a lot of those are going to end up going back to Melo.
Yeah.
If he does, in turn, sign with the Rockets.
He might not shoot the highest percentage, but I think he'll be better. He doesn't need to shoot a high percentage. He never has his whole career.
You don't need him to.
No. As long as he can make 1 out of 27 threes.
16 a game last year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to bounce back up to, I would project about 21.
Yeah. I would keep him more in like the 18 range, but 21 is definitely possible. It all just depends on his minutes, which should be high. He's going to be probably playing the 4. The 3 or the 4.
Besides last season, his lowest points per game was his rookie season in Denver, where he averaged 21 on the dot. So I think it's clearly possible for him.
Yeah.
He didn't look like he was in bad shape last year. He just wasn't getting as many touches, and he wasn't getting the ball in the spots that Carmelo Anthony.
What's their starting lineup again after the big 3? Who's their 3 and their 4? Melo will be one of them.
Melo's going to be one, and then I think the Rockets actually have a lot of flexibility.
And Moody didn't start last year, right? Or did he?
No, P.J. Tucker started
Oh.
and I think he's going to stay there because
Okay,
they're going to need a little defensive help.
Yeah. Okay, P.J. Tucker, fire him. So that's their 5. That's not
Eric
bad.
Gordon will still come off the bench. I don't think Ryan Anderson starts. I think they'll probably keep him in the back, but he could.
And
we could see Gerald Green get some time at the 3, and Carmelo Anthony drop down to the 4 for some more versatility.
Yeah, I like that. And in that lineup, that starting lineup, James Harden's an adept defender. Chris Paul's never been a horrible defender. And then P.J. Tucker and Clint Cappella.
Defender, all defensive.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's a little on the short side, and he gets a lot of steals, but he's definitely... I mean, he's getting older in the injuries. I'm saying he's definitely still serviceable. He's not a negative defensive player. And so that's 4 serviceable defensive players you have on Melo. So defense really shouldn't be a problem for him.
No, and especially if you put Gerald Green, a lengthy, versatile guy in there over Melo in certain playoff situations, and they can get very versatile and a good defensive team down the stretch.
Much less so compared to OKC last year, who only had Steven Adams, really, because Paul George wasn't the defender we've seen, the Indiana defender we saw last year. I don't know what it was, but especially in that playoff series, Donovan Mitchell just kind of chewed him up. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, Donovan had a great series.
I mean, Paul George just isn't the defender, or he just wasn't the defender last year that he was in his Indiana days, so we'll have to see about him. But the defense around Melo I like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Want me to do one?
Yeah.
The oldest guy I have on my list, or most, is Montrezl Harrell. Of the Clippers, he just re-signed for 2 years, $12 million, about 2 weeks ago. And obviously, this one feels obvious to me. He had Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan in front of him heading into last season. He only started, I think he started like 3 games. Yeah, he started 3 games last year. That should definitely be up to, I don't know, is he the starter on that team now? At the 4?
He has a chance to start every game this year, yeah.
I mean, I would say Gortat the 5. He could be the 6th man. And he really can't play the 4. So we'll have to see, but he'll start. He'll start 40 games. He averaged 17 per game this year. He's going to average almost 30 this year. And his minutes per 30, he averaged 23 points per 36 last year, with 8.5 rebounds. So he could average those numbers. Also, Clippers are horrible, pretty much. They've taken a backseat to the Lakers officially. In terms of, there's not going to be any pressure. No one's going to be watching them. They don't even have a star on their team. Is their best player Tobias Harris?
Yeah, their best scorer is without a doubt Tobias Harris.
Well, best overall player, I think, too.
Beverly
Pat Bev
is going to have a good year.
Yeah, the 2 rookie guards.
Like I think Shai's going to be great, yeah.
Don't sleep on my boy Jerome.
Jerome Robinson, great 2 guards.
Yeah, so that one seems pretty basic. Not much to that one. I've always liked his game. Didn't he play with Donovan Mitchell at Louisville?
No, I don't think he played with Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, no. He wouldn't have.
He had a year in there with Russ Smith.
Oh, yeah, Russ Smith.
And Peyton Siva, yeah.
Yeah, they were good. That was a good college team. R.I.P. Kevin Ware. Was that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to go now?
Moving on?
Yep.
I'll go. So my next breakout, who I actually think has a chance to have a great year, is contingent on re-signing with his restricted deal, and that's Rodney Hood. Obviously, Rodney Hood had a rocky year with the Cavs after the trade deadline. He only averaged about 10.5 a game, but that was in the regular season, and we saw come playoffs he got no time at all. But the first half that year, he was averaging 17 a game, shooting a very high percentage, and shot 39% for 3 on almost 7 attempts a game. Rodney Hood was lighting up. He had multiple 20, 25-point nights, and I think playing next to an aggressive guard like Colin Sexton, I think he's going to have a lot of looks, and I think as Colin Sexton is trying to develop, I think he's going to struggle with turnovers a little bit. He's going to struggle to get into the flow of the game.
As is every rookie point guard.
As they all do. And I think Rodney Hood is going to be able to be their lead guard scoring the ball. I think some of the pressure is going to be off, not playing with LeBron in such high
Absolutely.
Clearly some down years for the Cavs coming up, and I think that I think that Rodney Hood has a legitimate chance to average 20 a game.
But ups to Dan Gilbert they're going to stay relevant though in the Eastern Conference.
I think for sure they're going to be around the 6, 7, 8 seed. Signing Kevin Love, I think we see Kevin Love back to around there. At least.
Man, how many people reach their prime at age 23 like Kevin Love. Why did I say Andrew Luck? Kevin Love did.
Yeah, for sure.
He was averaging 20 in Minnesota, and then I wish LeBron had just decided to kind of invest in the long haul of that team and kept Wiggins, and maybe if he just committed, they could have had Kyrie, Paul George, and him, and they
for sure.
But
I think you look at LeBron's plan first coming back to Cleveland, and he just wanted to bring one home for the city. And, I mean, he got it done. Commend him for that.
Tried 2 more times, and he knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, my next one, I'm moving on to some younger-ish players now. And the centerpiece of the Kyrie Irving trade, Ante Zizic, the man.
Yeah.
I was watching him from Summer League this year. He was looking really good, unstoppably good. He only played 2 games, but averaged 20.5, 12.5 rebounds, shot 63%. Has no outside game, which obviously isn't ideal for today's centers. But I like the floor spacing is already there with the Cavs because you already have 4 guys that are going to be able to play on the outside because you have Kevin Love at the 4.
For sure.
So they can play a little 4-1 or whatever. I don't know what the teams play these days, but last year I know per 36 can be kind of like a sketchy stat when guys are only playing 3 minutes a game, but his per 36s were 20 points, 10.1 rebounds, 2.2 blocks on 73.1% shooting and 24 PER. Which 24 PER, we're talking that's like starter level. Definitely, that's above average starter level.
And I think the thing with Zizic this year is he's going to be setting a lot of high screen and roll with Sexton, and I think that team's going to be firing a lot from the outside. I think we'll see a lot of dump offs down low at him. I think watching him in the Summer League, both his games, his post move looked great. He had some up and unders. His hook looks good. I think he's going to have a lot of offensive rebound opportunities. And the thing with the Cavs is they're just going to give a lot of time to some of the younger guys in that regular season, develop them a little bit. And I think Zizic has a chance to, for sure, average double-digit points and have a chance for rebounds.
Yeah, my fear with Zizic and Kevin Love being on the court at the same time is Zizic isn't a very good defender either. He didn't get 1 block in both those Summer League games. I mean, he's just kind of a big body there, which is fine to an extent.
He's not the most mobile,
but he's not.
There's going to be certain
he's not
games
scary.
Where he's chasing around quicker big men, and it's going to be tough.
Yeah, especially because Kevin Love's also a liability out there on defense. They could have some struggles in front court defense with those 2. Do they even have a good? What's the rest of their front court? They have Channing Frye again, who's also not a front court defender. They could get hammered by big men this year.
Yeah, they re-signed Channing Frye. I doubt that he sees much time at all.
No, he's not going to play.
But as a whole, they're going to be one of the bottom 10, 15 defensive teams. I mean, Tristan Thompson's still there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he's good.
If they re-sign Larry Nance, then they will have a chance to have a few lineups where they're a little more mobile. But if they're giving time,
but then they're giving up the offense completely. They have to choose one or the other pretty much because they don't have a guy that can do both.
I think you could see some time with Kevin Love and Thompson starting, and then if you have Larry Nance and Zizic
as the second line,
coming off the bench.
I like that. That could work because Zizic's offensive game is pretty polished.
Certainly a playoff team out east.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not going to do anything, though, because if you're 6, 7, or 8, you're not going to get out of the first round in the East. Because you have 3 pretty much established teams that are head over shoulders above. I mean, I guess 3 teams that are clearly the best, I'd say, out East. Without a debate. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I have 2 more players, and they're in complete opposite situations, but I think they're both going to have really big years. My first is Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic. I know coming out of college, Isaac was a big prospect at 6'10", but only 210. He was lanky, A lot of teams loved his versatility at Florida State. He could play the 3 through the 5, and he kind of struggled in his rookie season. Didn't get a whole lot of time. Only played less than 20 a game on a poor Orlando team. Averaged 5 a game. His 3-ball shot at about 35%, which is very respectable, but didn't shoot too many. I think this year he's going to have a chance to step in, play the 3 next to Gordon, or play the 4 with Gordon at the 3, and I think he's going to have a chance to legitimately score 14 to 16 points a game. Always was a good rebounder with his tall body and very athletic getting off the floor.
Obviously versatile offensively too.
Yeah, he's got a great jump shot on the mid-range game, and if he can just get that spot-up knockdown 3, I think the main thing for Jonathan Isaac is the Orlando matchup going to be bad. There's really no way around it.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have time to develop. I don't think they're pushing for any playoff run this year, even in a porous Eastern Conference. So I think he's going to have a chance.
It's all about
to
him and Mo
shots.
Bamba this year, and Aaron Gordon.
Work his way into it. And with those two, with their length and shot blocking ability, I think we could start seeing them run some pick and roll. They can both handle the basketball.
They're going to be good defensively. That's what I think.
I think they'll be a good defensive team as long as Mo Bamba's in there and Vucevic is on the bench. But I think one of the top players in the league that needs to find a new spot is Nikola Vucevic. I think they need to try shopping him.
They already got rid of Biyombo, and now they just got to get rid of him too.
Yeah.
He's a good scorer off the bench. I don't know what team would. He definitely needs to be traded.
For that team, there's really there's no mentoring because he's still fairly young. I think a lot of teams would start him. He's clearly a startable center. Got great offensive upside, but he's never really gotten down that timing, shot blocking. He can't really move his feet. And for a team that's trying to build around a bunch of versatile guys like Gordon, Isaac, and Bamba, I just don't see Vucevic fitting in.
He's not a bad scorer, though. I mean, he's a crazy scorer, but yeah, you're right. Other than scoring, he can't do anything. I have one more player, and then you have one more, so
yeah.
No, I think we're done with that player. I have Malik Monk as my final player of the Charlotte Hornets, going into his second year.
For sure.
So we've heard a lot of rumblings about Kemba being traded. Jordan insists that he's not going to trade him unless he gets an All-Star back. But eventually he's going to have to crumble. It's how the NBA works. You need to trade your All-Stars for future assets. It's the only way to speed up your rebuild. So that's going to happen, I think, before the trade deadline this year. Also,
and I think with Charlotte moving Dwight Howard, it kind of showed that they're trying to get younger, trying to get rid of any. I mean, Charlotte knew that they weren't competing for a championship in the next 2, 3, even 5 years. So I think they were trying to move some of their bad money, their contracts, and get ready to push for 2020 and not 2018, 19.
And also, he shot 34% from 3 last year, which isn't bad. It's only about 6% lower than his college numbers, which obviously college is shorter than line. So that's not horrible. His big drop in field goal percentage, he went from 50% for 2-pointers in college to 38.5 last year. So I think he had some bad shot selection last year. He was kind of struggling in that 10 to 16 foot range. I don't know why. Maybe he needs to work on that, but clearly he can still play a role as a spot-up shooter at the very least, and he can shot create too.
He's very athletic, and coming into the draft, weighed in at about 188, 190.
Oh.
Said he's up to about 205 right now. So just putting on some of that NBA weight, having that NBA diet, I think he's lengthy and always a great ball handler. Averaged 20 in college and lit it up in the tournament. So I think he'll be a great shot creator.
Also, if they get rid of Kemba, the team's pretty much all players that seem about on the equal playing field in terms of their talent. Just a bunch of mediocre players. But Jordan's made it clear, I feel, Michael Jordan, obviously, that he likes Malik Monk. I think he said that on multiple occasions. So I think he gets the first shot in terms of like a starting role and a main scorer on that team when Kemba goes.
Couldn't agree more.
Also, the one Do you remember that shot Malik Monk hit in like the Elite Eight? That three
Against
to tie the
UCLA?
game? No, against UNC, and then like the big guy made the game winner after that. But that shot was sick.
Yeah,
Dude
he's
was
always
ice
been a great
cold.
shot
Dude was
creator.
ice cold in college. That was a great duo, De'Aaron Fox and him in college.
Had a handful of very athletic drives to the basket last year. I think he'll have a chance to have a great year both shooting the ball and attacking. And if he can just get that playmaking aspect down, only averaged 2 assists a game in college.
Yeah.
Didn't average many last year, but if he can just get that driving kick out.
It's also hard because he has no one around him.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if he just shows it, we don't need to see the numbers. We just need to see it in the game.
For sure.
We don't need to see the 6 assists a game. We just need to see that he's trying.
The fact that he's got the playmaking and the vision, for sure.
Yeah, okay. Who's your last player?
So I'm going to get down to my last player, and he is my pick for, I don't know about most improved, because I'm not sure how much his numbers are going to go up, but he is my biggest breakout, and I think that as a whole, this is contrary to the Orlando Magic, because this team is going to be a lot better. And my pick this year is Dillon Brooks of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh.
I think last year played all 82 games, got 29 minutes a game, got more than a lot of people thought out of a late first-round pick. And then at 6'6", 220, he's got a great NBA frame to play the 2-3 guard, good combo hybrid guard. Averaged 11 a game last year. Shot very well for 3, 36% on a lot of attempts. Shot 45% from the field. Did a little bit of everything for them. And the problem was with Marc Gasol talking about, he kind of had more of a mentoring year. Talked about trading him at the deadline. Mike Conley was injured. Chandler Parsons was down. As a whole, that Grizzlies team was not up to their grit and grind that they had in the past. And I actually think they're going to bounce back from that 12 seed up to having a chance to push for the playoffs in the West this year. I think that with Mike Conley playmaking and getting his shot back, that they're actually going to lean on Dillon Brooks' his scoring a little bit more. I think he's going to have a lot of drives to the basket.
Yeah, because Jaren Jackson isn't really a scorer, the guy they drafted. I mean, he can score, but he's not like a playmaking scorer.
He's gonna spot up more.
Yeah.
He's more of a defensive player, and he's still a project too. I assume
Absolutely.
they probably are going to start the year with Jermichael Green starting at the 4, bring Jaren Jackson off the bench with Parsons, or even start Parsons and Brooks at the 2 and 3. But as a whole, I just think having all those pieces around him and playing in a more competitive environment, like he did in college, that he'll have a chance to really step up for that team.
Yeah, I like that one.
When they need him.
I like that one. He going to Oregon, right?
Yeah, I went to Oregon, played the Tyler Dorsey team, Jordan Bell.
Oh yeah, that team was sick. They were a 1 seed. Okay, is that all we got? We ready to wrap this bad boy up?
That's all I've got for my breakouts. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for listening again. Don't forget to. I guess we're still doing this Twitter giveaway. No one's entering it though, so if you want to enter it, yeah, do that if you want. At least follow us on Twitter, Talkin'Smack _pod. Instagram account should probably be up in the next few days, so we'll let you know when that thing's up. Obviously, subscribe and like on YouTube. Subscribe on the Apple Podcasts app and give us 5 stars. That's about all we got. See ya.
That's all I got, Tommy.
Bye-bye.
See you guys next time.